All right, everybody, welcome back to the Realty Rundown Special Edition. This is not our traditional Realty Rundown where we talk about a real estate topic exactly. We're going to be talking about our newest team member, Julio Bardales. Julio has been talked about and mentioned on the show a couple times, and today we officially get to introduce him. So, Julio, man, I'm glad to have you on.
Excited, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely, man. I know you've been doing this now for a little while, but we want to learn a little bit more about you. Who's the man behind the license? So just tell us a little bit about your background. I know you're originally from Peru. You came to the States when you were a teenager. I guess my first question would be, was coming to the United States something that you had always thought about doing when you were younger?
Well, no. I mean, my background comes from Peru, of course, and I played soccer for a long time. The teenager, I used to be in a team that travels a lot. We went to different countries. We ended up in Brazil, Argentina. Then we went to Europe, Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands for a whole month or two for a tournament. United States wasn't in the book for me, like it wasn't a plan, but I had some family that lived in Chicago, and I got a pretty good connection with the Chicago Fire team. And I got an invitation for a trial for maybe 6 to 8 months. That's how the whole journey started for me to move here on my own by myself at 17. I played with them for 8 months, and then I started going to a school, kind of like to learn the language and move on my career, what I wanted to do back then. But yeah, that was the big move to come in a big country at a 17-year-old. It was a big challenge.
Yeah, man, that's pretty crazy. I think most 17-year-olds would not even consider doing something like that because it's a lot to take on at such a young age.
It is.
It's pretty awesome, man, that you've had those opportunities. You've seen a lot of the world because of that. That's pretty amazing. I think probably when you were younger, maybe you thought like you would be a soccer player, professional soccer player to this day. Yeah,
that was the whole plan. Like I tried. I was really excited to be part of this a team in the United States. Like it definitely was a big change. Not only culture wise, but also with the weather, and it was a huge opportunity, of course. And yeah, it just got me here now.
Would you say now I don't play soccer, and I think for me personally, I play a much harder sport in that I play pickleball. Would you agree that pickleball is probably harder than soccer?
Pickleball? I still got to go play some pickleball with you. I have not tried pickleball, but I mean, it's a sport. Soccer, you run a lot. You have to be in a good condition. I used to train every day. It's not, it's definitely a sport. You have to constantly keep running, keep yourself in a good active way. And the more you do, the longer you last in the game. That's a deal part. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. Well, and now you've got, you're still running around, but doing different kind of running around, showing houses and running around and chasing after your kids. Cause you've got 2 boys and a little baby girl, but I think, is it both of your boys that play soccer?
Yeah, both of them do. Luca is 7 and Theo just turned 5 too. Rowan is my little one. He's a year old and maybe 3 months. I'm terrible with birthdays, days, and all this stuff. My wife is better than this, but me. They love playing soccer. They have shown so much potential, more than I have when I was their age, of course. Our routine is basically, I get home, let's go outside and play some soccer. Even in wintertime, I get home, let's go look for any indoor that have some kind of a program for kids, for indoor. And they love it. We just train together and we start doing things like this, like, kind of pushing him to the point, like, if you like it, let's try this now. And they show me they can. I'm like, wow, I'm really impressed. They're really good.
That's awesome, man, that they can follow in your footsteps that way. And you've had a chance to coach them too, I think some, right?
Yeah, I do coach in Middlebury. Yeah, of course. I've coached them both a couple times last year, and I'm still there. I'm still part of the program. I love that group of people there, and they do good things for the kids. And I just like being there, help other kids, like, let's improve. If I see some potential, like I want to improve them, maybe something that I wish I would have at that age.
Mhm.
But yeah, I do help in the community in Middlebury.
So what are some other you moved here? I want to say has it been about 6 years ago that you folks moved here to Middlebury?
Yeah, I think around 6 years ago. Yeah,
Okay.
we moved from Chicago. Yeah, my
Yeah.
wife is from Goshen, and we lived in Chicago for, I will say, maybe at least 8 years. I was at least for 8, and she moved in with me for a couple.
Mhm.
Then we decided um, to start a family, and we just wanted to be closer to her family, of course. And we think that Indiana is a really good place to start a family. We like the location we are, and we like the city we live. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I love Middlebury. I was born and raised here. I did move away for college, and then for a few years I spent in Sarasota, Florida, but I came right back when it was time to have my family. Same thing. So I definitely
Mhm.
understand that. I've got my favorite things about Elkhart County. Now that you've been here for a little while, what are some of the things that you really like that Elkhart County has?
Economy. I think it's just how peaceful it is for me. Like I think it's really, you can find yourself really safe,
Hmm.
and it's a really good place to raise a family. I think it has potential for a lot of things. If you have a good job, come home and still have time for the kids. Um, it's not as expensive as big ones, in my opinion. Coming from Chicago, you have to be constantly moving, constantly finding something else to do, and I think you miss a little bit of the time with your family. I think that's important. Here, I find it really amazing how we're part of my kids' family at their life. We're just really present for them, and that's important for us. Yeah, we like that a lot about Elkhart.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, man. I love living here for the same reasons. Nowhere is perfect, right? There's always certain things that you'd like to see different about the places you live, but overall, Elkhart County, and I know you live in Middlebury just like I do. It's a great, great community and full of really
Mhm.
good people. So we're definitely glad to have you guys here, man.
Yeah,
Uh, Talking about real estate a little bit, I know when you lived in Chicago, you had thought about getting your real estate license there. Now that you're here in your first year as a broker in Indiana, tell me a little bit about what you were thinking about doing in Chicago and what being a realtor in Indiana is like and how it's different.
yeah, of course. I mean, in Chicago, when I used to work in a restaurant for several years, I got a few friends that were into the real estate area, and they were doing this really good job of, mostly for apartments. Like I mentioned to you a while ago, that was the whole plan. Like I want to do this. I enjoy going to apartments and see how different buildings are, how the structures are different, just the designs. And I was really bummed when, I wouldn't get approved for that. I'm like, why? My credit was, always, not, I guess, not good, but it works like a house. You have to apply, you have to go to showings, you have to, put yourself in a waiting list, and they run your credit. They want to pick the person that's ideal for the apartment. I wanted to do that back then. I just didn't have the time. Um, Back then, I put that on hold for a while, and after we moved here, like I think it was time. It was time for me to finally do what I really wanted to do.
Mhm.
Um, After a while, working in a few other jobs, I just found myself really comfortable, and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting too comfortable with this. I want to do something I really like. I want to push myself something different. And my wife was a huge supporter for this. Her and my kids were always like, my huge fans, and I'm like, yeah, this is time. I'm like, let me call the best guy, Nic Wyse.
Well, dude, honestly, I saw her video that she posted on Facebook where it's her like kind of she's driving by your billboard and she's laughing and she goes, "Oh, my handsome husband is famous."
Yeah, it was, yeah, that billboard, man. It's awesome. You're seeing yourself there. There's like a huge accomplishment. I think it feels good, like you actually made it. It feels good that hard work pays off, and a lot of people a lot of friends that I know, they feel the same way, and it's really rewarding when you hear really good feedback, like, oh man, you're gonna do great. This is, you really got personality for this. You have this in you for have the Spanish speakers to help out, and also in English too. Yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait to see my parents are coming this summer, so I'm like, they're gonna see it.
Oh, that's
It's gonna
so
be
good.
fun.
For anybody listening out there, if you haven't seen it yet, it's at 15 and 20 as you're coming toward Middlebury. Look off to your right-hand side and you will see the new billboard with Julio on there. I think it's pretty funny. Some people have commented on it. It does kind of play off of the fact that you're bilingual, because you're able to serve both English-speaking and Spanish-speaking clients. That's kind of one thing I wanted to ask you about too. I know that's really important for you, and I just wanted to see what were your thoughts about how you can help everybody in our community.
Absolutely, yeah. I think being bilingual was, it's a plus. That's one of the first things when I moved to the country. I couldn't speak. My wife would probably tell you my English was terrible. It was a struggle. You struggle, communicating with anybody, and that was one of the things that I told myself, like, you have to be at the level. You have to like talk the same language. You have to learn English. It was hard. It's tough. But yeah, just helping the extra plus, just to help somebody else in not only Spanish but English, it's huge. I do think there's a lot of Latino community out there that they might feel the same way that I did. I feel like maybe it will be maybe any kind of like problems to talk, or you don't want to do it because you don't speak the language. It's important to have that somebody that can treat you well and help you out the same way somebody else will do it in English, but it will be in Spanish. A lot of people appreciate that. I like that. I've been hearing some good feedback from friends that I know. It's just to be out there and helping some people that might not understand the language. It's huge. I think it's important.
I mean, anybody who's listening to the show knows, because I talk about it a lot. I want everybody to own a home. Everybody, and because I think it is the number one pathway to the American dream. And if you're here, that's what we want. We want people in homes. We want them to own their own homes. We want them on that path. So I love that we have somebody now on the team who feels the same way and is passionate about getting everybody into a home. If there's a way that we can do that, we want to do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a really good feeling helping somebody make the dream come true. Like you're feeling that you made it, and it's possible. Yeah. It's possible.
That's well said, man. All right, I want to ask you one last question, and just it's totally off the topic right now. But if there's one interesting thing about you as a person that has nothing to do with real estate, and you think it'd be interesting for people to know, what would that be?
Yeah, one thing, I'm a huge believer. I love God. I have Jesus in me. I think it's a really good. I really want to leave it out there. I think it worked really good on me just to bring me from all the way from Peru, and just how everything has worked in my life just to be here. And it just, everything was planned, when you never know, like everything was planned for me. And I was like, you had to be patient. You had to listen to the step that's going for you. I think it's important. And yeah, I have huge faith in that. And yeah, I love soccer too. Yeah, you guys know already. I see you guys, some of you on the field, like at Middlebury, and maybe some competitions here and there. Yeah, I'll be a coach now. I won't be, leasing or selling a home, but I'll be coaching. I get really competitive, so that will be it will be my other side of me. My kids know that pretty good.
Oh, I'm sure, man. I was the same way. I've coached different sports over the years, and I'll never forget the very first time I coached a game. It was a basketball game. And the official actually stopped the game, and he came over to me. He goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Calm down." I'm like, "Dude, I grew up a Bobby Knight fan watching IU basketball. This is how I coach." So, yeah, I'm pretty passionate. I like to win too. I'm right there with you.
That's right. Yeah.
I think that's an energy we can both bring to our clients and help them win. So
that's true. We always win. Yeah, let's win. Let's win together. That's awesome.
Right, man. Well, we're super excited to have you on the team to help you, really kick your real estate career into the next level. You've had a great start, honestly, with already putting some clients together and being out, showing houses, getting ready to, possibly list some homes as well really soon. So you're off to a great start. Again, just really glad to have you a part of this. Here in a second, I'm going to play our little outro video that people, again, if you've seen the podcast, you've seen it before. Yeah, Julio's not on it yet, so it's going to be me and Nick for now. But we're working with the AI to get a Julio built into this too, man.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Yep. No, awesome, thank you, Nick. Awesome.
Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. Of course, thank you.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon. We'll see you next week, Monday morning at 8 a.m. Thanks for tuning in.
And that's a wrap on another episode. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you had as much fun as we did. We love sharing real estate insights, but as you can see, we also love to have a good time. This energy and passion is what we bring to every client. Buying or selling a home is a huge deal, but it doesn't have to be stressful. With the right team, it can even be fun. Ready to make your move? Let's connect.